Alrighty, good morning. So again, you're gonna get two videos from me today. You get an added bonus because the video that I already posted was my video from my date, letting everybody know how it went. First date, I've been on in a year since ending things with Lily's dad, and so all the signs, and the dating thing, the urge to date, and it always makes me wonder, did I get that urge because it was coming up? Well, I don't know. I did have to take action to make it happen, right? Like, I had to go on the dating site, but maybe if I wouldn't have, it would have happened another way. I do think that we get those urges because our soul is craving something, it's wanting something, it wants an experience, right? And so if it's meant to be, we can just sit back and receive it and let it happen, and sometimes take a little bit of decisive action to show that we really do want it and we want to make it happen. And Lily's in the back right now hanging out, probably dropped all of the things that I gave her to entertain her on the drive to go hiking this morning. So I woke up. Alright, I'll put on some music for her and I'll come back and do this. Hello, and good morning. So, I might as well just clip that video with this one, because that's what I do, right? I do raw videos. I don't edit them. Maybe every once in a while I'll edit just like a little bit out if there was like something that I wanted to say, or something that, like got carried into, like that wasn't to do with the video, but I don't edit them for looks by any means. I don't edit them to make them sound perfect by any means. You get me raw. This is life, right? Life is not those perfect, beautiful homes that you see, well composed, everything, and it is their life, right? Like on Instagram, and that's their life, and that's okay, but that is not my life. I like to be natural, right? Didn't we say that? My soul likes to be natural, but it likes nice things, like this organic cotton hoodie that I'm wearing with the matching pants. You can't see them at all. Matching pants that I'm wearing, and like a decently expensive carrier, and I am all matchy today. Like, I got the nursing bra on that matches. Like, everything's the same color today. How funny. No, it's not funny. That's me. I do that a lot. I match a lot. So, yeah, I started that video yesterday while driving to go do a group hike. And, Lily was crying and turned on some music and put the windows down and tried handing her some things to help, entertain her for the ride, and then realized I needed to get some of those pacifier clips so that I can attach them to the little tightener strap for the car seat, because she can't keep things in the car seat and things end up everywhere else, and then she doesn't have anything, and then she's no longer just cool being chill and looking out the windows, which I loved that phase when she would just take in all of her surroundings and not need anything to entertain her. Because I love to drive. I love driving. Driving, as I've said, is so meditative to me. If I can hop on the 60 and head out towards the Superstitions, even if I'm not going out there for a hike, but just driving. And especially if I've got the Superstition Mountains in the background, it's wonderful. So I wish she would be more comfortable. Dyer in her, this is a want, right? This is not a, what I'm about ready to talk about. This is like a full-on I'm fighting desire. I wish she was more comfortable in her car seat for longer periods of time so that I could do this. She's actually not. She, every once in a while she will like go in her car seat and the vibration will put her to sleep, but not always. And sometimes she gets very unhappy in her car seat because this is her happy place. She likes to be held. She likes to be on me and held and comforted, and this is her jam. So I was talking about the date though, and I'm really enjoying this experience. Do I want to go back on Bumble and see if there's more guys to match with? I don't know. I don't know yet, and that's okay, right? Like I'll just kind of go in the moment and play with it with how I feel. But I got exactly what I wanted on Friday. A burger and a beer, good conversation with a cute guy. It was literally exactly what I wanted, and I listened to the universe and did it on Bumble, and it was funny because even that I was like, oh my god, like I woke up to like 650 likes. How on earth am I gonna like? I can't go through this, and like after narrowing the search parameters and still having like hundreds, and they're on Bumble if you pay for the like premium or whatever, the guy can compliment your photo. Because I was like, still, universe, you have to drop this in my lap, just like it did with Sandra, with my friend on that I met on Peanut, and on an app, right? It's like the universe can use tools like this, like online dating apps, friend apps, business apps, LinkedIn. Like those things can be really good for connecting people who might not connect other ways. It's a great way for the universe to bring them together. And I think that's just beautiful. Sandra's up in Peoria, and we're like almost an hour from each other, and we might not have crossed paths otherwise, but it's like been a good friendship for what we needed, and it was exactly what we were looking for. And then we realized this app is not for us. Like, I don't do the selfie filtered bathroom gym photos. Like, that's just not. And are they fun? Yeah, my daughter loves doing them, right? But it's not then what I'm going to post on my thing. Like, I'm going to post me hiking or, like, paddleboarding or what else do it? Most of mine are hiking because I love hiking. And so anyways, I said, you got to still just drop them in my lap. And I had, like, 2 or 3 guys compliment one of my photos, meaning they comment on it, right? And, one of them, I was like, oh, okay, he's kind of cute, started talking, and the conversation just, like, it quickly became a conversation instead of the, oh my god, 2-word sentences. And that was the same thing with Sandra. And then it turned out we'd both been seeing, I forgot to mention this one, we'd both been seeing the number 911. And, we were like, like, what are the odds of that? And I think it was the universe telling us, like, oh, hey, and she's the one who said it. She said that she got the message from another friend. It's not like something to be scared of. Seeing 9/11, it means help is on the way. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Like, it's like the universe's confirmation of, like, here you go. This is what you want. Here, we're helping you. And so I thought it was really funny that I hadn't been seeing like 9/11 or anything, with before Bumble, but kept seeing Bumble. And so I sign up and I'm talking to this guy, and he mentions that he has kids. And so I asked him how old his kids are, and his kids, and he has more than me. So I kind of like said, I was like, hey, somebody that has more kids than me. He has 4, and they are 11, 9, 8, and 5. 9/11, right? Like, and 8 is one of my numbers too. And I was like, okay, touche, universe. Like, this is your confirmation. Like, just go with it. Just have fun with it. Chat. Make a friend. See how it goes. Like, that's what I wanted, right? To see what I'm attracting. Because what we attract gives us really good feedback on, maybe it can give us aha moments of what we want to work on. Like, and a lot of times it's because it's what triggers us or what we feel judgmental on. And that's exactly what happened. Is I enjoyed a great conversation, and then I woke up middle of the night and I was like, okay, like two things didn't really sit right with me. And one of them was when he was talking about growing up with cats, and we were talking about unconditional love with pets and children, and he was like, yeah, like even if the cats were all over the end of my bed, and I'd push them off, and they'd come right back up purring, or I'd toss them across the room and they'd come right back up purring, and I was like, toss the cat across the room? Well, that one doesn't resonate with me. Like, my cat growing up, like, but it was one, right? And I don't know how many cats, and I get it, like sometimes you get touched out, I do, but maybe get up, kick them out, close the door, I don't know. But again, so my cat growing up would like curl up in my nook, like I'd be on my side and she would curl up a lot like this little one now, and she would sleep like under the covers with me, and she was like my little lovey. And she was such a sweet cat too. Like I also had a fish when I was in college, this blue betta fish named Mickey, and I brought him home with me on breaks in summer, and he'd hang out on my dresser, and my mom would always be like, you better watch Teddy. Teddy's gonna eat your fish. And I'm like, no, she's not. And she would sit there and she'd just stare at Mickey, at my fish, and I left it open on top, and my mom was like, she's gonna eat your fish. And it was so funny because Teddy never did eat Mickey, but she would sit there and watch him and be fascinated with him, and then she would drink his water. She loved the fish-flavored water. Never did try to eat my fish. Like, I knew they were fine. I knew they were cool with each other. And that was, like, one of the examples of, like, my mom living in a lot of fear and trying to pass on that fear to me because she thinks she's doing good, right? Like, preventing my fish from being eaten. And Teddy never wanted to eat Mickey. Like, that wasn't in her. She knew that Mickey was a part of the family, but she enjoyed the fish flavored water, which was really cute. So, she likes to look at herself too. So, anyways, but so then I'm driving yesterday morning to the hike, and I stopped through the Starbucks drive-thru, and I'm hungry, and I didn't, plan enough time to get up and eat and make something for breakfast. I'm like, I'll just stop through the Starbucks drive-thru, it's easier. And so I get a coffee and a water and a sandwich, and I'm eating the sandwich, and it's got bacon and eggs and cheese on it, and I'm like, I don't know what Starbucks, like, humanity, like, animal practices are, but they're a very large chain company, and I have a feeling it's not the most ethical. And I'm sitting here chowing down on that sandwich going, wow, you're really judgmental about how somebody else treats animals. But yet here you are supporting Starbucks, and I can only imagine how non-ethical their treatment of their animals are, for their bacon and their eggs and their cheese and so maybe you need to take a look at yourself in the mirror, Jenny, and be like, is this something you want to continue doing? Is this like, do I eat the sandwich with gratitude because, oh my God, one, it tastes amazing. Two, it's so nice not to have to wake up and make something, in the morning, and just be able to stop through the drive-thru and get something, and yes. And, but yet I use, like, products like shampoo, conditioner, eye contact solution, saline solution. That's all, like, ethical, whatever. What is it? Not tested on animals, whatever. No animal products, whatever. And yet here I am going through the Starbucks drive-thru. So it was just one of those things where it was like, oh, okay, you got to look at yourself. Like, what is this judgment trying to tell you? Like, you're getting judgmental because you see that reflection in yourself, and maybe this is some stuff to look at for yourself, and then also maybe it's because you need to let go of that judgment. So it was just really, really fascinating, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm enjoying the conversation. And do I think it's like my soulmate? No, but is it so much fun to go out on a date and build a rapport with someone and build a connection with someone? And yes, I love human connections, and I love building deep relationships with people. And so I left that video about Wayne Dyer and being like, elephant, how interesting. And so I'm like, well, I'll listen to his book, that Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And it's been sitting in my Audible library for who knows how long. Where I was like, I might as well just go ahead and listen to it now, because I didn't know what I was going to listen to or watch or, whatever next. And I love self-help. I love learning. I love self-improvement kind of stuff. I love it. It's just, oh my gosh, it intrigues me and it fascinates me. And I am such an analytical person, very sapiosexual person, I love deep conversations and mentally challenging conversations, and that stuff just, yeah, total turn on. Like, it gets me going, right? So, I geeked out on Joe Dispenza and Nina Morjani and some Jay Shetty, and I love his wife too. She's so sweet, and they're beautiful beings. And that's funny because that's talked about, right, in the Wayne Dyer one. And so I said, if it is you communicating with me, send me another time. Like, let's do this. Let's have fun with it. So I go through the Starbucks drive-thru, super sweet barista, super friendly, which you don't always get at Starbucks. You're more likely to get at Dutch Brothers, but she was very sweet, very friendly. And we're talking through the window and like actually talking, and she walks away, and it's funny because when she was close up, I was more looking at her face and her eyes and not looking at like her body per se. And she walks away to go get like the sandwich, I think. And yeah, the sandwich. And I see this ink tattoo on her arm, and I'm like, is that a butterfly? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be so weird when she comes back, and I'm going to ask her, and I'm going to ask if I can take a picture of it, and I'm just going to straight up say, like, I'm weird, can I? And I did, and she comes back, and I realize it's not a monarch butterfly, even though at first glance I was like, no, like, seriously, if that's a monarch butterfly, I am going to flip out, because then it really would be Wayne being like, yeah, it's me. But it was very similar, so maybe it was like the closest thing he could get. Right? Because like we do form our own communication with spirit, and they learn how to communicate with us, because he could be standing here with me right now and I wouldn't fucking know it, because I don't see spirit. I don't hear their voices, right? Like Anita will get those like aha moments, those knowings, and she thinks it's hers, and really it was Wayne Dyer like standing there telling her, prompting her what to say, and in like a a talk at a conference or whatever, and so it could have been his way. Oh, and that's funny. So quite possibly, and again, right, like this has been here, but you gotta believe. You gotta just, when you're talking about it, what are the chances that I'm standing here staring exactly in my line of sight? It's an elephant. It's an elephant magnet my daughter made. Yes, it's upside down, but that is an elephant. And as I'm talking about Wayne Dyer, who Anita says communicates with her through elephants and monarch butterflies, what are the chances that I am literally standing? Literally, this is straight eye shot. It's an elephant. So we're just going to say yes. Yes, Wayne is, I feel really special. Wayne's like a huge name. Like, no, I haven't really gotten into his stuff, but he was like a very well-known name, right? Like, hey, cool, I feel special. Fascinating. It's like, I don't really geek out about famous people, but apparently I do. It does. It does make me feel very special. And so anyways, I'll share this picture of her tattoo, which I quickly realized was actually a moth. But moth, butterfly, you know, they go through the whole transformation experience and yeah, so I will take it as it was him. So let me share it with you. Okay, so here it is on her upper arm there, right next to the moon. Is that like a pomegranate? God, she has such beautiful ink, like absolutely. But look at that, and with the eyes watching, and just so incredibly beautiful. And it's funny because that's what Wayne talks about, because I started listening to his book, is you know, the dichotomy and that duality, that in order for something to be beautiful, that means something needs to be ugly, and right versus wrong, you know, like all the things, long versus short versus everything just is. And I get that everything just is, but I do 100% believe that part of our human experience, we come here to be human, right? Like, we are these beautiful, loving souls beyond this, but we chose to be here. We chose to come have a human experience. We chose to experience ego, experience duality, experience judgment. Like, we didn't come here as the cute little otter, like he talks about, to just live life, you know, free and playful, and maybe we'll do that in another life because, you know, take a break from this. But we chose to have this human experience and experience what is it like to have an ego? What is it like to be judgmental? And Lily wants to talk to you. And hi, beautiful. Getting some skin to skin. Yeah, having a chill day. And you know, so another one of the things that he talks about, which just, it literally, so I started leaving that video yesterday morning before my group hike, the singles hike, which was fantastic. Best, like, it was a lot of what I needed. I was very nervous, very shy. You know, I get very nervous doing new things, but it was great. It pushed me hardcore physically, and I like that. I need that. I am a very physical being. That's why I usually have a personal trainer, so that they can push me. Trevor does great at that. And with hiking, it was a moderate hike. I think it was like 3 miles, 800 and some feet elevation, so not hard. But when you're wearing a 16-pound weighted vest, who likes to snack sometimes and jump like that sometimes, and you know, it is a challenge for sure. And I was not the fastest person by any means. I am not a speed walker. I am a mosier. That even the people that were slow, they pushed me. Their slow was fast for me, but the people in the very front finished like 20 minutes before us. You know, like, they are major speed walkers. But I think I was like 3/4 of the way through, so I probably still had like, you know, 7 or 8 people behind me. And it was great because they also didn't take a lot of breaks, and it forced me to push and finish. And where if I would have been by myself, I probably would have given up a long time before. I love physical activity, and I love that release, and I am still a very physical being, which we've talked about on here. And so I started listening to, I said it yesterday as I was driving out there, I was starting to talk about when we want something, do we get that desire because it's coming so that we can accept it and be open to it? Or do we get that desire and then manifest that desire into our reality? I will say that the desire for me to want her to sit in her car seat more, so that I can get a little bit of time, like, you know, just me driving without her attached, that's very much so like a forced want that she's like, But with me wanting, just all of a sudden getting this urge, this desire to want to go on a date. See a cute boy on a hike. I actually wouldn't mind going on a date. Look at me drive by this brewery and that brewery. Oh my god, going and getting a burger and a beer with like a cute boy sounds so fun. And then, you know, it manifested, it happened. But now, and I love that Wayne talks about that in the very, very first, like, verse or whatever, is like, oh, you know, desire and versus want, desire versus accepting, desire versus non-desire, however he says it, you know, it's like, maybe we got the desire because it was coming and it would make us accept it, like, you know. So I just thought that was perfect, that tied into exactly what I was saying on my video, and I couldn't have kept leaving that video, because then if I would have posted it, I wouldn't have had this, you know, knowledge to chime in with, after listening to Wayne's book, which I want to keep listening to. And I just think it's so funny that there's an elephant magnet right across from me. So touche, universe does communicate with us. That is Wayne, and it's almost like my ego doesn't want to say it's Wayne, because I want to be like, well, I'm not special enough for Wayne Dyer to communicate with me. Like, he's freaking phenomenal and famous, and like, why would he choose to communicate with little old me? And then it's like, oh man, I got some self-esteem stuff to still work on here, huh? Like, I am special, and you know, like, there is a path for me, and I need to step into it and love it and own it. And like my therapist said, like, I am opinionated, and start sharing those damn opinions and stop holding back and stop being the good little girl who learned how to be quiet and not speak so that I wouldn't, you know, anger my dad and like anger others and be judged by others. And you know, it's okay. I'm gonna attract judgment. I'm going to. We all do, right? And so that exactly, I was listening to the book, taking an Epsom salt bath yesterday with Lily so that I wouldn't be so sore from the hike. And so one of the verses said something about like, if you attract, was it like judgment or, you know, something like that, instead of defending, just sit with it. No need to respond, just sit with it. And I swear it was exactly what I needed to hear, because I had posted this post on the Buy Nothing group asking for 3 items. Pacifier clip, a silicone feeder, and a car seat cover that would like cover the inside of the car seat so that it doesn't get so messy, so I can allow Lily to eat in it. But it's like just this cloth backing, you know, that would go behind her. And one of the comments was like immediate judgment, fear. It was like, those things are bad. They, you know, they're not safe. They void the warranty on the car seat because they go between the baby and the car seat and the straps and the baby. And oh yes. And I was immediately triggered, and I was like, again, I was like, do I say something? And I go, I already got my answer. Just sit there. How does that make you feel? One, you want to argue because you don't agree. Are you going to change that person's mind? No. Is there any need to defend your choice and the fact that you want a car seat cover to make your life easier? No. So just sit there with it. And I did. And I'm not even going to defend it here, even though I want to, right? But that defeats the whole purpose of just sitting with it and letting people have their own judgments and just honoring it's okay for them to have that judgment, you know? And I'm in a public forum, so they can comment. That's part of me accepting being in that group, is knowing that might happen. And just, and it's one of those things of like that fear of being judged and fear of, like, whoa. And then realizing that it is often the fear and the judgmental, the fear comments that seem to be voiced the most. And then that one came up with Wayne and leaders, and oh my God, it was just like everything. And then it was great because then like talking to my date this morning on the phone, and so one of the things, with like politics and religion is we have all that in place, and I 100% would love to see us be more autonomous, more, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but more autonomous, more independent, more, less rules, restrictions, regulations by government and church and all this stuff, right? But great conversation with my date this morning that a lot of people thrive on that. A lot of people need that to feel safe, to feel secure in this life. It does make them feel safe. Having those rules, having that somebody lead over them, having somebody be more dominant, being more powerful, makes them feel safe. So it's not, again, it's not a bad thing. It just is. So just all the thoughts, all the wonderful things this morning. What on earth I'm going to name this video, I don't even know, other than, yes, Wayne Dyer is communicating with me. I think that's what it'll be. Even though that's like, this little snippet in this long video, long versus short, like, right, in this video. But even video is a judgment, right? Like we have labels so that we can somehow navigate this human world. And that's what I talk about all the time, is what if we just let our children decide? What if we don't teach them necessarily, like enforce like time on them? What if we just let them, like how cool, what a cool world they could come up with. It'd just be so fascinating. But yes, all right. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Wayne. That's really, really funny. Like, seriously, I'm standing. That's when you just gotta know it is. He's like, here, stand here. Hello, I am trying to communicate with you. I am trying to, like, you're standing here staring at this damn elephant. When are you gonna look up and see it? So, thank you, Wayne. Thank you. Like I say, Universe has got jokes. They bring so much love and laughter into my life. And yesterday on the trail, like as I'm freaking exhausted and being like, should I just take a break and not go the rest of the way? I saw the number 22 on somebody, and then I saw it, and I think it was after, maybe, I think it was on the way back down, and it was just like that guidance, that confirmation that, like, you were doing this, you got this, like, yes. And then I saw somebody's shirt, it said Rose Apothecary. I was like, oh, Rose, Grandma Rose, like, thank you. So just wonderful and sweet, and like Snicks would have loved that hike. Passato, yes, but he just gets so excited with other dogs, and I can't. Especially not when I'm carrying her. I love taking him for walks around the neighborhood, and I would love to take him on hikes, but I can't handle his anxiety. And that was another thing. Oh my God, that's exactly what, the date and I talked about. Is he was saying, I mean, he's got 4 kids. I get it. Like, a dog on top of that would be a lot. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, I can't get another dog because, like, I wouldn't be able to meet their needs and, this. And I'm like, he was saying he doesn't want to get a dog because there's already so much noise and stuff as it is. He wouldn't want any more noise and commotion. And I'm like, that's exactly me with Passato. Like, I can't judge that at all, you know. So, and he's such a chill dog, except for when he sees another dog. That's the thing. He's so chill, and he's great with kids, and he gets excited because he sees a dog to play with and a friend, and I'm like, well, maybe I could, like, foster a dog, like, once a week, like, from the shelter, like, if it's good with other dogs, and pick it up and let Pasado and it play, and then go bring it back. And then I'm like, fuck, you'd end up falling in love with that dog and not be able to give it back, and you can't take on another dog right now, and what do? Like, I really want my dog to have a playmate, and, you know, I could probably reach on that Buy Nothing group and ask and see if anybody would be willing to let her dogs play, you know, like, once a week or so, and play in the backyard, and maybe I'll do that. And, all right, I'll leave another video later tomorrow about the signs that I'm currently getting, and continuing the house remodeling and stuff like that. So, but I need to go find some food for myself and maybe actually enjoy it while she's sleeping, so that I can eat and just feed myself without also having to feed her. And I love you, and I hope you are having a fantastic day. And as always, now I want to hear, like, just all the things. Tell me who's communicating with you. How do they communicate with you from the other side? What do you think on the whole? What comes first, the chicken or the egg? The desire versus the manifesting versus we got the desire because it's coming up. Like, yeah, cool stuff. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, if you've had to deal with a judgmental situation and how you handled it, and how did it make you feel, and just all the beauty. I love you. Oh, and that was one of my fears yesterday, was going on that hike. Okay, I know, I digress. Two really quick things. Thanks for always letting me chat. Sometimes I feel bad for talking so much, but then I realize, like, you guys keep coming back, or, you know, there's messages in here for you guys to hear, and so it's a good thing. And again, stop judging myself for talking so much. It's a good thing. Brene Brown says, like, I'm a storyteller, and I am too. One of the fears that I had was bringing the baby yesterday in a singles group and being like, are they going to hate me for bringing a baby along? Are they going to be happy I brought a baby? Like, is this going to be okay? Has anybody ever done this before? Like, and I often do stuff that people haven't done before, right? And so I get there, and of course, Lily was such a hit with so many people. Not everybody. Nobody was negative. Nobody said anything bad. And it was great. Like, when we got to the restaurant, one of the women asked, she was like, can I hold her? And I was like, sure, she'll let you know. Like, she'll be the one to let you know if she's okay with it or not. But yeah, sure, we can try. Like, heck yeah. Somebody else take my baby for a little bit so I get a little bit of non-touch time? Yeah, please. And so she let this woman hold her, the woman next to her hold her, and the woman across from me hold her for, like, a pretty good amount of time. I was like, this is great. And then I was like, okay, like, I did, you know, the right thing, and here I am scared of judgment. Like, what's somebody gonna say? Like, how dare you bring your baby? Okay, then let him say that. I already talked to then here I am defending myself. I already talked to the group leader, and she said it was okay, and the one leading the hike, and, you know, like, I asked ahead of time, and there I am defending. Like, oh my goodness, like, it's just, I do that. I have defensive, and sometimes I have these conversations when nothing's even happened. Nobody said anything, and I'm here defending a potential scenario, and I'm like, oh gosh, the trauma. Because it's a trauma response, right? To defend yourself that you're going to get in trouble when I didn't even get in trouble. And then, and it's just, it's laughable, right? And it just lets me know it's something that I want to continue to work on and release and let go. And the last thing was trusting my abilities to sense energy. And so this is a vulnerable one. So when I'm around, and I'm gonna use air quotes, a narcissist, when I'm around somebody, there's just a certain energy that they give off. and I've talked about this before, where like it almost feels like I get roofied. I've never been roofied, I don't know, but it feels like I get roofied. It feels like this swirl of just whoosh. And I get what I call is my vagina radar. I get this like cramping with, I guess, my sacral root, sacral, I think it correlates to the reproductive organs. This like cramping in my vagina that is when I'm around somebody with that energy. And it's like a very physical attraction, but not a good thing. And I felt it so strong with my ex. I still feel it when he like comes to pick up the kids. It's like this, just like, I don't want to be attracted to that. Like, I'm not. But yet there's this physical attraction. It's so weird. And it's how I sense that energy and where I feel it in my body. And so I was on the hike yesterday, and there was this one guy, and so like he was talking, and I'm looking at him as he's talking to the group, and I was asking him some questions, and I didn't feel swirled by any means, which was good, because I think I'm coming out of that, which is amazing. But my vagina radar was like going off the whole time, and I was just like, oh, okay. So it's like the universe's way to help remind me to trust my abilities. And part of that is the ability to feel other people's energy in certain ways and to just trust what I'm feeling. And with my date, there wasn't any of that. Did I think he was cute? Yes. Do I think he's sweet? Yes. Do I get that electric, you're my soulmate, you're my person? No. But do I think that there could be like a friendship or maybe a little more there? Yeah. Like, but did I get that like vagina radar going off that this is like a red flag, stay away from? No, not at all. And so I think that was great. I think it was that confirmation of trusting my abilities, and trusting that my body does let me know in ways what my soul wants and doesn't want. And that's, how it communicates with me. It's fascinating. And I did open up to Danielle about that one. She was like, oh no, I actually know what you mean. Like, I got that with Randy. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, sweet. Like, how fascinating that this is an ability that we have, like this is a way that our bodies communicate with us, because I'm a very physical being, but I'm also a very energetic being. And I do think a lot of, like when I was on the app and swiping, I think a lot of it was like, I wasn't even looking at their picture. It was like an energy, no. But yes, then also, like, if you've got a gym selfie or a car selfie as your primary photo, we ain't gonna click. Let me see somebody out in nature. That's a turn on. So, okay. Thank you. Thanks for letting me share that last little bit. And now I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.